feelings hurt. Read this.
We didn't notice this going into the movie, but this is a repeat offender, Benjamin Woodard. He made a movie called Mouthful of Shit, which actually was nominated for a Genuity Award, right?
Yeah, we really liked it.
Yeah, so we just noticed that somewhere in the middle of the episode. I'm putting it here just so we don't look like idiots. We're not idiots.
We were just a little bit idiots for a little bit.
We're a little bit idiots.
We've overcome.
Anyway, back to the show.
Is this short film roundup?
This is Short Film Roundup.
Yeah. Hey!
Hey!
I love short film roundup,
Isn't
guys.
it great? You know what's great about this show?
What?
No one knows. No, I was just about to be stupid. So go ahead.
Why are you going to be stupid?
Go ahead.
Nothing you do is stupid.
Payman.
Dude, you're awesome.
Payman has cursed us.
Yes.
He did?
Yes. Payman the demon
I remember that. Why are
from
you telling me
Hereditary.
this?
Yeah. See, it's a curse and a blessing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're cursed.
Yeah.
We can't leave this place. We're stuck here. We endlessly review short films in a void of eternal blackness.
Yes.
The blessing is...
Yeah, I think we're just
Is
cursed.
there one?
No, I think we're just cursed.
Anyway, this is the only show in the universe where you get to watch 3 cursed filmmakers review user-submitted short films. That's movies submitted by you guys, this filmmaking public.
Those guys?
Yep,
Wow.
those guys.
Cool. Well, today we got a film by Mr. Benjamin Woodard.
Yes.
He's a resident over at Film Alchemist, our Facebook page.
Yes, he is. He's
Hey.
dropped some cool little nuggets over there, hasn't he?
Yeah, yes.
Good
He
guy.
has. Yeah, okay. Just making sure I'm saying his name right. So, Benjamin's movie is called Pulling Teeth. It's about 7.5 minutes. If you haven't done so, please watch it. Come back and watch us talk about it.
I think we gave you enough time to watch it.
Yeah, so
Now.
that was a lot of time.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Taylor,
Me?
you start us off.
Kick it off, dude.
All right.
Light the fires and burn the tires.
Okay, so this is Pulling Teeth. It starts out in black and white, and we get this conversation about racism and race relations in the Western world, I guess. They're Australian. And I didn't really like this movie too much. It felt like it didn't really say anything other than that racism is bad.
Really, it said racism's unpopular.
Unpopular? Is
Yeah,
that
it
what
didn't
said?
actually make a value
I don't know.
statement
I
on
would-
whether or not racism was good or bad.
I would go as far to say that
Just that
it said-
these people don't like it.
Okay, that's fair. Fair.
I would go as far to say that racism is evil, is what this film said because of this guy right here.
Okay.
What about him?
This guy thinks racism is evil.
He does?
Yeah, because he would rather pull a tooth out
Pull his teeth. Oh, yeah.
than
okay.
have his friends think he's racist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
So what's the problem with this movie?
Let me
Where to begin?
I'll begin.
Please.
Yeah, after you began, I'll begin.
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Tell us.
I'm gonna say that this is all relevant. This feels like a student film. The reason why it feels like a student film is because it feels like we're saying something specific, but not for a certain reason. We're not saying it for any particular reason other than we're making a film about it. So in that essence, it feels like we're making the film because we have to. Therefore, it feels like an assignment, therefore student film. And the reason why it feels like that is because there's no... What are we laughing about?
That's right. You're on the camera.
What was that?
I wasn't on the camera. No one knows I'm laughing.
Yeah, but I do. What are you laughing about?
Nothing.
What are you laughing about?
It's not relevant at all.
I know what you're laughing
it'll
about.
just derail us. So you go ahead.
It feels like this movie exists as, like, do you put it as like an assignment?
Yeah.
Like you're in a film class and you're given an assignment, and so you're like, okay, I'm gonna make something about a touchy topic. Or
Because
something.
it's not about any of these characters.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I feel like, films that have what we call genuity,
Yeah.
it's really about a character, or it's about this person's experience, or it's about some sort. Well, for example, because we like to compare films to other films, there was a film called Rational Displacement that we talked about some time ago, and that was about a college student that was living out of his car. And the whole film, you could tell very much just right off the bat that this film is about this college student living in his car. If you were to say that about this film, you would say it's about a guy who was threatened. That's about it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have any character development really in either of the characters. And
just like that little black and white conversation at the
Yeah.
beginning, I think was meant to be sort of a place setting for
kind
the
of a
characters.
thematic setup is what it felt like.
Yeah, because it feels like it feels like that conversation's purpose only serves to establish that
The teeth pulling.
that
idea.
a little bit, and to establish that this guy has doesn't think racism exists, and that obviously he's wrong.
He's allowed to think that though. Like
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
a like.
Yeah,
Like
well,
that, again, that
but
didn't, like,
that's what the scene served.
It
right?
does, yeah.
That's what it sets up. You're like, okay, look at this guy. He's potentially a racist.
Yeah.
So that way it makes sense when later. Well, I guess it actually doesn't really make sense because
It
we don't
doesn't
know
really,
where
yeah.
this. We don't know why he's
Well,
being threatened.
Here's the thing: we have. You could probably walk into any drunken party and find some d-bag going on some kind of racial tirade.
Right, sure.
Right? That's
sure.
not like an uncommon occurrence.
Right.
It's also not an uncommon occurrence for a good person who happens to be drunk to say some bad things.
Sure.
Right? These aren't like crazy over the top things.
Right.
It's unfortunate, but it's not insane.
Right.
Right? So that suggests then to me that whatever he said well, he was drunk at this party
Yeah.
had to have been extraordinary
Yeah, and that's what
for people to be this outraged and for him to go to this huge lengths of pulling out his teeth,
Yeah.
which I don't know how that fixes the problem.
Well, he was paying his penance.
Yeah, I'm going to ruin my life to make you all feel better, I guess.
Yeah.
But the point is, if it is indeed that serious of whatever he said,
Yeah.
we need the evidence
Right.
Yeah.
to back that up.
We need to understand
Or I
why,
feel
yeah.
nothing. I don't care that he's pulling his teeth out or being threatened. It just
Right.
feels meaningless
Right.
because I have nothing to say other than that he made a racist joke. People make racist jokes every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Racist people make racist jokes, and people who aren't racist make racist jokes.
We need to either know that what he said and think to ourselves, wow, that's really, really, really bad, or we need to somehow understand what the implications of it is. So just after we finished watching this movie, we had talked about the implications of things, and one of the things I said was this would have been more interesting, I think, if it was about someone running for mayor or someone running for president or something like
where
that.
it like super mattered.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Public.
public opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, did you gather these are either like college students
Right.
or right around that
Yeah,
sort of
like-
time?
Like, it doesn't look like he has that much to lose.
Yeah.
You know, we don't even know that he has any friends, really.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't seen any of this evidence.
Right. Right.
So, really, what you need to give us, what the filmmaker needs to give us is a reason to root for this person or a reason to believe that this person is threatened.
Or a reason to root for his failure.
Right.
Either way.
Right.
Is he a total jerk? Is he a good guy who's just made a mistake?
Yeah.
And what are the stakes?
I want to say that this was inspired by a Black Mirror episode because it
I
feels
thought of the pig one.
no, not the pig one.
I thought of the pig one.
There's a episode called Shut Up and Dance.
Because he is blackmailed to screw a pig.
Yeah.
And this one he's
This
told to
one has-
masturbate on camera.
So the other one has to do with blackmail
So-
also, and I don't know if it's tied together. Probably not. But in the Black Mirror episode, it has something to do with the kid. There was a kid who was recorded masturbating, and he was threatened that I will release this video of you masturbating, but you can do all these tasks that I'll give you, and then I won't release the video. And the kid goes way out of his way to do these extreme things down to like killing a person. And it's really interesting because
I would just let the video go.
yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that the twist at the end is that it was something far darker than what you thought. But the whole reason why you're attached the entire time is because the character is developed to the point where you're just like, oh yeah, he's just some dumb kid that's really, really not wanting people to see him masturbating, right? Like you could tell that he's really like I don't know, kind of introverted,
Right.
Very introverted person. But I didn't see that here. I didn't see.
No, you don't see why he would even care
Right.
if other people knew.
Right.
And in fact, based on sort of the flippant opinions he had about racism, he almost seemed like the type of guy who would have been like, yeah, whatever, put it out there.
Right.
I'd
He
love to
does-
have that conversation.
He does seem like that guy.
You know?
Which he does say. Well, okay, doesn't he goes to try to make the video, and then he's like, no, I can't do it.
Right.
And he doesn't make it.
Which means, in his mind, it's better that the racist jokes be out in the open
Right.
than him whacking off.
Right.
Right. Which
Right?
then, at the end, him pulling his tooth out doesn't really make that much
Does
sense.
not like that.
It doesn't
the
equate
extremes
at all.
don't equate.
Yeah,
That
right.
doesn't make sense at all.
Right.
It's like masturbating. No, won't do that.
But I'll pull my teeth
pull out my teeth.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. And this is something that I've seen a lot I've done personally in student films before, where you take the threat and you take it to the maximum because it's cool and interesting to film. One of the things that I did, I made a movie called it was a hilarious title. Oh, Fatal Diversion. That's what it was called.
Ooh.
See,
Sounds good.
The 2-word things I told you guys episode back that I would do that. It was about a girl who stole a PS3 and then killed her friend because she didn't want to give it back. Or not a PS3, PS2. That wasn't that.
That sounds awesome.
Wasn't that. I was younger, so it was PS2. Yes.
That'd be awesome.
It was hilarious.
That sounds good.
It was really hilarious.
Sounds like a tour de force, Steve.
It's tour de force. But with that being said, yeah, it's like you said, the extremes don't equate.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Nor do I believe that, like, somebody who feels guilty about a crime they committed would do that to themselves. You know, like you see, like, criminals do, like, heinous, violent, terrible things, but they're not, like, hurting themselves over it. They'll go to jail or whatever, but they're
Right.
not gonna, like, pull their teeth out and be like, this is symbolic for my
Right.
I will punish
and
myself
there's
this way.
ample examples of famous people in the public eye, politicians, celebrities, who have been caught up in scandals, many of which involve making racist comments.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and one of the
And
things
you know
that
what they
came to mind-
do? They apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't freaking mutilate their own bodies. So, which is, I mean, that's an interesting conclusion for the movie to go to, but it doesn't give us any reason, any glimpse of understanding as to
Right.
why this individual would go to that length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what would be cool is at the very end, after all this, if we went back to like the party or something, and saw that what he was doing maybe was super extreme or something like that. Just
that
to
would
give
have been
like a twist or
interesting.
something.
Yeah, like if we're all like sitting here scratching our heads, being like, "Well, that was a little extreme, pulling his teeth. That's crazy."
Right.
And then we go see what he did at the party, and you're like, "Oh my god."
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Let's talk about some of the technicals.
He
real
needs, I mean, what I feel like is this guy needs to be in the nut house,
quick. Right.
right? Not like he's not. I don't feel like he's repenting for racist jokes. I feel like he's insane. He's pulling his teeth out.
I have something to say about the performances real quick.
Yeah.
Do it.
It's very monotone. Like the emotional level of all the characters is just straight. It's the same level through the whole thing.
Of enthusiasm.
This guy, our main character we follow, like he has the same emotional reaction talking with his friend in the beginning that he does when he,
confronted with this threat.
Yeah, with this threat, he goes, I don't think racism is even like a real thing. And then he's on the phone later and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna slit my wrist over this. It's like, I feel like they're doing a Quentin Tarantino kind of thing. When I see movies like this where there's a lot of dialogue and they're all kind of like cool talking, fast talking, very serious, and to the point.
Like they couldn't care less.
Yeah, exactly.
about what
That's
they're saying.
Super word heavy dialogue.
Yeah, I always think of Quentin Tarantino.
I thought that there was
Yeah.
definitely a Tarantino inspiration for the opening scene.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
The style of the dialogue and choosing black and white and
Right.
then cutting to this big full screen
Color.
title
It does
reveal.
feel- yeah, that does
That's
feel
a
Quentin
very
Tarantino.
Tarantino move.
Yeah, and that's cool. But I just felt like I wanted a lot more emotional reactions from
Yeah.
what was happening.
Yeah, the thing that was not very Tarantino
Yeah.
was pulling the punches and not showing us the racist jokes.
Yeah.
Right.
Or him pulling his teeth out.
Right. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like you're tiptoeing around
Or
the
or
story.
having this guy like in the fetal position, like in just dread and panic at
Right.
being exposed.
Right, like I
crying,
never felt
you
like
know?
he suffered.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I never felt like he even had remorse.
Yeah.
he just went straight to pulling his teeth out.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
again makes me think this guy's crazy.
It's like he was pulling teeth out like out of obligation.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Like
and
he's like, I
okay.
don't really
Like
want
the
to do
told him
this.
so.
I've been
Yeah.
caught. Yeah,
So this is
I
what
did
I have
that.
to do.
So I will pull out my teeth as the
That's-
law
that's
suggests.
What are you doing? Where are you?
Same move. It's the same guy, dummies.
It's the same guy.
It is the same guy.
So he's a repeat offender.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Disaster.
We have to restart this whole thing. Holy
Why
crap.
didn't we check? We looked at him. We're like, he looks like the eat shit and die guy.
Oh no.
Anyway, so this guy looks like the dude from
He is
Mouthful
the
of Shit.
dude.
Because
He
it is
the
the
dude.
same person.
He is the dude.
Yeah.
So he, it's funny because if it was the same character from Mouthful of Shit, this would actually make a lot more sense. this
Oh,
story.
because
maybe
of
it's
the
a-
literal like in Mouthful of Shit, he's like he takes it like extremely literal when
Yeah.
a girl
Yeah.
tells him to eat shit and
because
die.
he's a crazy person.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of crazy. He also beat himself with a sock full of nails or
Right.
tacks or
Right.
something.
So this is just a shared universe.
Maybe it is a shared
This is
universe.
a cinematic universe right here.
I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah.
When I consider the extremes Mouthful of Shit went to create just a very gut-wrenching, visceral, experiential film
Yeah.
where it feels like this film actively avoided
Right.
doing that very thing.
So you said something earlier that you talked about the file, the audio file. We didn't listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say about that?
So I equated it to not showing violence in film. You know, sometimes people will say like, "Oh, not showing the violence it's even scarier because it lets your mind fill in the gaps." And personally, I don't. This is a little sidetracked, but personally, I don't agree with that all the time. And I felt like it was a similar thing going on here, where maybe the idea was to leave it blank so that way your mind can fill in the extremities. But it's just not. It doesn't work to me. Like
Yeah.
for me, almost 100% of the time, it's always more impactful to see the violence, you know, or hear the extreme.
Well, at least
thing,
it would
you know?
let us understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would have been a really cool kind of like, out of place, out of time moment if we were to hear the audio without having seen him at the party,
Yeah.
right? Because the previous scene, all we heard is him saying, "I'm going to go to the party. I'm probably going to get really drunk."
Right.
Yeah.
And then we don't know that the party's already happened, but then we hear this audio and we have to put together, oh, this is what happened at the party.
And
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah,
it
would've
could have
been
been
interesting,
cool
yeah.
to see him listen to that sober.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
just
just be a
like,
sober person.
"Oh,
and be like,
no."
Yeah.
Right.
And seeing that contrast, that would have been really cool.
Right.
So I think that was a really big missed opportunity. I really wonder why that wasn't done.
I also, like, the only thing that could have made me feel like, oh, this is like a worthwhile catharsis seeing this guy pull his own teeth out would be if the film revealed that he actually is racist.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Right. That would be interesting.
But that,
We're only told that he
it's just
is
a drunk
racist.
guy who
Yeah.
said something inappropriate.
Yeah.
Like, we don't pull out teeth for that.
Yeah.
Especially when like watching Mouthful of Shit, which was I keep calling it Mouthful of Shit. Oh wait, no, it is called.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's not called Eat Shit and
Yeah,
Die.
I kept calling it Eat Shit and Die, but that movie had no problems showing the violence, you know,
Right.
showing
the disgust.
the disgusting stuff.
No,
you know?
it held nothing back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Even
that's
in the
part of what I
title.
loved about
That
it.
was a
Right.
genuinely disgusting movie.
Right.
So it makes me wonder if that movie was made after this one.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing, because this one does feel more like assignment-like.
Feels cautious.
And the other one feels more kind of artsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels like a filmmaker who doesn't want to be cautious.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So I wonder then if the filmmaker was
Like
just
he has like really like abrasive ideas,
right.
but he's being held back.
That's interesting.
So that'd be my first question.
Yeah.
Would be like, is this a a student film, or made in some situation where there's censorship, where you were given guidelines that you weren't allowed to cross? Because, man, the filmmaker who made Mouthful of Shit wouldn't pull punches like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Makes you think.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's probably a good time to just take a sec and mention Film Alchemist.
Oh, we have a Facebook group called Film Alchemists.
Yeah, and Mr. Woodard is in there and often chimes in on different conversations, and you can too. We hope that you'd all you filmmakers out there, come and join us and have really awesome, deep philosophical chats about filmmaking.
Yeah.
Film Alchemist on Facebook.
We have a lot of different things in there. It's really fun. Should we move on to our second part?
Right, I already dipped a toe into that, so we better jump in.
All right.
Questions?
Yeah. So this is part of the show where we all ask the filmmaker themselves, straight to the filmmaker, things that we're curious about in the film. Before we get there, audience, you can submit your film to us. There's a link somewhere around here. Click it and submit your film, and we'll do it to it what we're doing to this one.
Yeah, and you'll like it. I know that sometimes you see us being pretty harsh on these films, but you know what? We hear back from the filmmakers, and they're like, "That was awesome, thank you." I don't know why.
Because deep down, all filmmakers are freaks.
Masochists.
Yeah,
or
we're all
messed up in
masochists.
some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been torn to pieces. Like, I've had my films torn to pieces
Yeah.
by certain people, where it just is not a good feeling.
It hurts.
Yeah, but it's not.
But it feels good for us.
I think it's because it's from the peers, like an audience of your peers.
I could say, yeah.
I
we could
think
say that.
you don't want to be torn up by an audience,
No.
like a movie going audience.
Yeah.
No, right.
But other filmmakers who are also struggling to tell good stories.
Yeah.
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 I take that all day.
When we're just here to give constructive criticism
Yeah.
and to improve.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Not-
well,
we're
and
not-
we get off on it too.
Of course.
Well,
that
yeah.
goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Goes
I
without saying.
really like
Yeah.
tearing apart people's
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're here to tear apart your movie, not tear down your movie.
Yeah. We'll tear it out. And
that's good.
Tear it up
That's
and down.
good. Tear apart the
And-
movie,
yeah.
tear down the person.
Yes.
The human being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what
Till
I'm
there's
looking for.
nothing left.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really show our hate.
Yes.
Yeah.
That being
Racial
said-
hate.
But that.
Yes.
Question time.
Yes. Questions. Comment if you want to ask questions also to the filmmaker. We like that stuff. Taylor, start us off with questions. Do you have any questions for Benjamin?
I want to know what the idea behind this movie was. What was your intentions with this film? And were you restricted in any way creatively? And if you were not, then why did you choose to withhold the tape, the recording? Curious about that.
Why was your character using an invisible mouse at the computer?
I was going to
question.
talk about that.
So there's this scene here where he either has a quantum mouse or no mouse, and would love to find out what that's all about.
Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's Canadian.
Oh, is that? But they're Aussie.
And that Canadian. Oh.
They're not Canadian.
Yeah, but he's going to use a Canadian
It's
mouse.
very similar.
He's using Canadian
Canada
mouse.
and Australia. It's
They're
like
pretty close to each other.
pretty
too.
much the same.
Pretty much the
thing,
same.
To be honest.
Yeah,
Just
pretty much the
because-
same thing.
Let's be honest.
Okay.
Starting now.
Okay.
All right.
How long did this take you to put together? I noticed you have, 2 actors in here, so it all seems to be taking place in the same house. I want to know how long it took you from production till the end.
And is there any other context here that we're missing out on? I kind of, sometimes a filmmaker's like, hey man, it's up to you. If you don't, you see what you want to see in my movie, or you're sitting here going, you don't get it, don't you see? If we don't get it, I'd really love to hear. I'd really love to hear what you have to say. Fill in the gaps for us. And last bit, we may have asked you in your previous episode, but tell us a bit about who your filmmaking inspirations are, who you are wanting to emulate, or if you're not trying to emulate anyone, who just gets you excited about filmmaking. That's it. Thanks, Benjamin.
Yeah,
send
thanks
us
for
more
sending
movies.
us the movie. Yeah, we would definitely want to see more.
Definitely. Make more. Send more.
Yeah,
Make more, send more, and don't pull your punches,
yeah,
man.
more blood,
Get
more
get
gore,
freaky.
more
Send us something visceral and
inappropriate
dirty and
things.
Yeah.
I want to take a shower after watching one of your movies.
Hell yeah.
Or try sending us something that's like super cautious. That'd be crazy, right?
No, it'd be crazy actually. Send us like a romantic comedy.
Yeah, that's what I was
There
gonna
you go.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like really like conservative
light.
and like really light.
Yeah.
There you
Just
go.
fluffy.
So you stretch yourself.
Yeah.
Stretch yourself and make a cautious film.
There you go.
What? Okay. Was it nap time or eat time?
It's whatever. It's
We got
that's
short
up to
film
your
roundup,
interpretation.
Nap, eating. Short film
Well,
roundup,
I always
nap.
do nap before short film
eating.
roundup.
Well, now it is before short film roundup because the next thing we do is
Because the
short
next
film
one's
roundup.
all right. So I'll just
So,
nap now.
I would
until
nap now.
the next short film roundup.
Would you
Yeah.
nap now?
I could go for a nap.
I could snack.
You
I'm
snack, I nap.
I'll nap.
Could you snack for me?
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Actually, could you nap for me?
Yeah.
And you could snack for me?
Uh huh.
I don't know. I'll just
You
sit
get
here.
time
You
off.
could just
Yeah.
stay right. Yeah.
Sweet.
Good
What-
for you.
What are you gonna do with your time off?
I'm gonna sit here like this.
That's cool because you know when I nap, that's what I do.
And, that's perfect because then